My next guest is back in action at UFC 259 on March 6th. He's going to be taking on Uros Medic. It is Aalon Cruz back here on the program. Aalon, how are you?
I'm doing well, James. How you been?
Doing great, but I'm not looking as cool as you are with the sunglasses. I know you just were at the doctor's getting your pupils dilated. How's everything going?
Everything's going well, man. I'm just chilling here I'm still at the UFC PI right now. I'm inside the relaxation room.
Good stuff. Good area to do an interview, right? Nice and quiet. I appreciate it. So.
Exactly. That's why I figured I'd come in here.
No, you're a veteran when it comes to that. So I was looking on Tapology. This fight's at lightweight, correct? You're moving up for this one?
It is. I'm going up to 155 for this fight.
Good stuff. Is that just for this fight, or do you see that as a permanent move?
At the moment, it's feeling like it might be permanent. I mean, I like not having to starve myself, I guess, as much as I would at 45, and not having to cut as much weight. I get to eat a little more. I get to put on a little bit more muscle. Instead of looking frail all the time. So I don't know. We'll see how the fight goes. Obviously, Uros is probably on the higher end as far as like big size lightweights, right? He's 6'1", so it's not like I'm fighting one of like the 5'8" or other smaller lightweights. But it's a good test. It's a good fight for me, and we're evenly matched up, I guess. Body wise, so
no, it'll be interesting, yeah. In terms of the size of the fight, and the other thing that's changed since last time you and I talked is you've been in Vegas training at Extreme Couture. What was the connection there? How did you end up training in Vegas?
Yeah, so it's funny. I'm more at 10th Planet, but like also Extreme Couture, a few times out of the week. So Coach Casey, who owns 10th Planet, I met him back when the UFC was in Tampa last time. Because I was actually at Publix bagging, and he came in with Tim Elliott, and then I ran into him, and then I talked to him for a little bit. He gave me his number, told me if anytime I'm in Vegas, I can come and stay with him. And so I took him up on that offer. And when the whole COVID thing went down, the situation at home just doesn't allow me to train like I need to for a fight. So I came out to Vegas. And Coach Casey let me stay at his house. So I've been out here since July.
That's right. No, I remember seeing that on Instagram. I know you'd been out there for a while. So how are you adjusting? Because I know Vegas is a little bit different than Florida, right?
Yeah. It's different because it's in a training sense, it's completely different because like Vegas is more like a buffet, right? There's so many places to train, so many different coaches, so many different mitmen. And it's like you choose, what you want. So it's like, all right, I want to take this. I want to use this and then use this. Whereas Florida, it's like I have my gyms and my coaches that I go to, and those are like the only ones I go see,
Right.
And it's not like there's like a giant variety of, different coaches and whatnot. So that's a big difference. And then also being in the room with UFC fighters, Bellator fighters, ONE FC, just they're all over the place. Like there's a million different training partners, and everybody's there to fight. Like that's all they do. Maybe they work like a part-time job, but mainly everybody's there to fight. And you're having 50 dudes in a room. Whereas like back home, I do like having more of the I don't know what you would call it. Like there's only like with my striking coach, we only have like maybe 8 to 11 guys. So like I'm in there, I can ask my coach, questions, and we can go through certain things. And there's more one-on-one attention. Whereas out here, it's like you're kind of like there's 50 other dudes in the room, so you're kind of like having to just do your own thing, and maybe if the coach has time to like help you out with something, you can. So it's just it's different. There's positives and there's negatives, but I'm making the best of it, and I love it out here.
Have you been back home since you went out to Vegas?
I went back for 3 because I was out here trying to get a fight. From July all the way until December.
Really? It's been that long? Okay. I wasn't sure about that. I wasn't sure if it was injuries or whatever, but you've been wanting to fight since then. That's crazy.
I've been wanting to fight, and I just couldn't get on a card or anything. So when they finally gave me the matchup for Uros, but they told me in March, I was like, well, dang, I've been renting a car out here the entire time because I kept thinking every month I was like, well, I'm just going to use the car for one more month because I should be fighting next month, and then nothing. And then, I kept renting the car. So I was like, well, I'm just going to go home. I went home for 3 weeks. So I left here December 12th. I dropped the rental off. I went home for 3 weeks, and then I drove back out here with my own car.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so luckily one of my teammates, Rob Horton, he drove out with me because he likes to travel. And so we drove out here. It took us about 2 or 3 days. and I have my car now. And obviously, when I got back, it's been a 9-week camp, so it was a good little like reset because I had been training every single day. Thinking I was going to fight, and never got anything until they matched me up for March.
Training partners. I know you talked about getting to work with a variety of guys. Is there anyone you're training with a little bit more than others, like in terms of regular bodies that you get to work with?
So normally, before he got a fight, I was training with Julian Erosa a lot, which was perfect because he's pretty much Uros, like him and Uros, they're the same person basically. And but then he got his fight set up for Nate Landwehr, which is this Saturday. So like Nate's a little shorter than me, so he needed to pick out the people that he needed to work with that were more of the person that he was fighting. So then I just kind of picked like some of the tall guys in the room, really. Like tall guys that can emulate a southpaw or just a kickboxer, and I just pick from who I have out here, really. Okay,
that's good. Any like UFC names or anything, or anyone notable, or just like up and comers?
It's kind of just whoever. I mean, like a week or two ago, I was sparring with Boston Salmon, which he's a good southpaw, and I mean he's a hard hitter, so it was good to get some like really good work with him. I spar with Dan Ige. Brandon Moreno, but obviously those are like smaller guys, so we're just moving around, nothing crazy. Emil Mech, I was moving around with him last week, and then I poked him in the eye, so I felt really bad about that. But he's actually a really good look for me as well.
Okay, yeah, that's a good group of guys you get to work with. How much different is this camp without having to cut that extra weight?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I get to have, like I said, I get to put on more muscle, so I'm not like, I just don't feel like I'm shriveled up like I normally do. And like at what I'm weighing right now, I'd probably be like almost like fight week, like for my, sorry.
No worries. Popular guy.
It's actually one of my alarms that helps me get ready for the fight.
Okay.
But it's just, so the weight cut. Yeah, I mean, I just get to eat more. I get to eat more carbs. I'm not, like I said, like every single meal isn't like do or die. It's not like I can't have any rice here, and I gotta take this out because there's too much. It's more like I'm just really just focused on the fight, my training, and my recovery, and it's not so much about worrying about the weight cut. And where it really gets serious for me at 45 is 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out is when it's like, cutthroat. I'm eating the same thing every day, and I'm just like really like worried. Like my last fight, making weight, I remember like being 3 or 4 weeks out, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna make 45. I was like, I don't possibly how I can make 45. Obviously, I made it, but you get that thought in your head, and it's a scary thought. Like I was freaking out the whole time.
Yeah, you don't want to be worrying about that, especially in your case, it was your debut, right? So.
It was my debut, so now this time it's just like it's not even a secondary thing. And then also, being here at the PI and having them as a resource,
with the food and everything. Yeah, it's pretty convenient, right? It's very nice.
It's huge, and that's like another big advantage of being out here in Vegas is having the PI. If you live here in Vegas, there's no and you're a fighter, UFC fighter, there's no reason why you're not in here taking. I'm doing physical therapy every day. They make my meals every day. I get to talk with the nutritionist every single day about my weight and like how it's tracking. They have a sports psychologist here. Obviously the gym in general, just here, like, and then being around all the other fighters, like it's just a big resource to have.
How's this fight playing out on March 6th?
Man, it could go any way. I'm not really too partial. Obviously, like if the fight ends, quickly in the first round at some point, that's great. Like get in and get out, get paid, right? And not get injured and be able to fight, soon after. Or, if we're in there for 15 minutes and it's a hard grueling fight. I mean, I know Uros isn't like, he's obviously good and he's tough. So I don't expect to like go in there and like completely steamroll him and he's just going to like fold over for me, right? It's probably going to be a tough fight, or it might not be. I don't know, but I really don't see. It could go any way. It could be a sub. It could be a knockout. It could be a decision.
Either way, this is an awesome card. March 6th, UFC 259. Aalon, always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media. And if you got any sponsors or shout outs, I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on again. Yeah, you can find me at Aalon Cruz, AALONCRUZ on all social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever, LinkedIn. And, I got to give a shout out to Cloudco Farm CBD. They're like my very first sponsor right after the Contender Series and my first CBD sponsor. And I don't post as much about them only because I just don't really post on Instagram or social media really at all, and I feel bad sometimes, but I'm gonna have to make it up to them after this fight for sure. And then Angry Elephant Tattoos, Gene Farmer and Beth Farmer, his wife, they've been huge contributors to my entire camp, just helping me out pretty much ever since Contenders, even before the Contender Series, they helped me out a ton. And just my Coach Casey and 10th Planet Vegas. Let me stay out here with, and train and live at his house with his family. I see them every single day. They're my family now too. All the guys at Extreme, Coach Eddie, Coach Eric Nixick, for letting me come to their gym and train with all the guys. And my boy Nico, he's been helping me. He's been holding mitts for me 2 times a week. And, I know he's busy. He's a realtor and all that stuff. So, him taking time out of his day to help me out. My friends and family back home, my girlfriend, I talk to her all the time or every day actually. And, she's my biggest support system, obviously. And my mom back home.